And my admonition to you today is that those suffering, all will suffer. Peter here admonishes us that there are different types of suffering, and different things bring about suffering. You don't want to suffer as a murderer. You don't want to suffer because you gossip. You don't want to suffer as a thief. You don't want to suffer because you are an evildoer. Peter said, look, suffering going to come now. My challenge in this Christian walk, because this is my worldview, so where I am, is that sometimes people suffering for gossip and thinking they're suffering as a saint. It's so Peter here begins to dissect the topic of suffering and says, hey, you're going to suffer now. Don't think it's strange, but make sure in your suffering, you know what you're suffering for. Make sure you're suffering as a saint with Christ, for doing right, for living godly, for being different, for standing up for that was true. Suffer for that, but not suffer for the evil that you're doing. For evil doing and gossip and murder, because those incur suffering too. Hello? But it's so easy to blanket everything with a spiritual cover and say, I'm suffering for Jesus. You suffer because you chat too much. Hello? You suffer because you're a thief. Hello? Oh, come on. Peter here says, let none of you suffer as a murderer, thief, evildoer, or a gossip in other people's business. Make sure, okay, verse 16. Peter did a great job. Here Peter says, don't suffer for that. Verse 16, next verse, you see. Yet, if any man suffer as a what? If you suffer as a what? Being like Christ, doing the right thing, loving the unlovable, trying your best to obey God. If you suffer for that, what Peter says, let him not be ashamed, but glorify God on this behalf. Everybody going to suffer. But we need to check and see, am I suffering because I'm at work, I'm not gossip, I'm not cheat, and the boss can't rub my leg, and I'm not go in the office, and that's why I'm not getting any promotion here. Hello? Why am I suffering? Because it's so easy for us to blanket it and say, well, I'm a Christian, and pastor preach, we have to suffer. It's not just... Can I slide in and tell you sometime, and nobody in here, sometimes people suffer because they're lazy. Hello?